Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world and our amazing country, but how we're going to fix both of them together. And the content that I'm about to show you is yet again CNN dousing flame and gasoline all over the Kamala Harris campaign, this time on international CNN without knowing it. This confirms what we've been talking about on this channel. It confirms that freedom is right around the corner, and legitimately, you hear that knocking? That's liberty. All you got to do is open the door because it's about to explode in this country. I'm telling you, you're going to want to send this one out. It's everything that you need to start your day. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Special hat tip to CNN to destroying this and doing a work for us yet again on accident. And if you have not hit this limited time design shirt, it is selling like hotcakes. Freedom only lasts if you can defend it. It stops selling on Friday, ships on Monday. First orders in are the first ones that go out. Guys, wear what you believe. That's the entire principle. You cannot have freedom if you do not defend it. And why not look great on that election line when you're there for 2 or 3 hours? Because you're going to do your civic duty wearing one of these amazing options. We've got navy, charcoal, green, and khaki kind of mixed. And then we've got red. Pick your poison. It's a great shirt. First one's in, first one's out. Thank you so much for supporting thus far. And guys, make sure you hit that link in the description box to get you an amazing piece of this limited time design. But with that said, let's get to the premise of this video. All right. So what I'm about to show you is a guy by the name of Frank Luntz. Frank Luntz, I'm sure you've heard of him. He makes a pop every 2 years for an election of any kind and then disappears for a year and a half. He is saying some things that I need to show you. Because around the African-American vote, around the Latin vote, around the union vote, everything that I'm showing you and we've been discussing has just been reconfirmed, and he doesn't know what to do. Listen to this. And by the way, vote, 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 vote. Friends vote, you vote, family vote, everyone vote. Just saying. All right, let's keep going. Listen to this. CNN on the tear again.
Might not vote at all.
Well, they do recognize the danger. I've been hearing it for the last 72 hours. And they do recognize that Donald Trump has surprising support. There are 3 groups that you should be watching. Union members, the rank and file are supporting Trump in the non-teacher, non-governmental unions in numbers that Republicans have never seen before. If you work with your hands, you're likely to be a Trump supporter in organized labor, and that's driving the union leadership crazy. The second group are Latinos, and this is particularly important in states like Arizona and Nevada. And even though Trump's rhetoric on immigration is so tough and so in your face, it's actually what people want to hear. And I don't think that the Biden-Harris administration understood just how upset people were with the border and just how much they prioritize immigration, public safety, and getting tough on the people in this country legally. And third...
All right, give me a second on the third piece. Do you understand what he just said, guys? The Kamala Harris campaign, the Biden administration, the Kamala Harris-Biden administration, they did not take seriously how pissed off American people were about the border situation. You know, that whole thing, Kamala Harris was never the border czar, didn't really quite cover it. Isn't that weird? You understand that unions, and we've covered this on the channel, this is why I'm saying this is all kind of coming together. Unions are at 50% the support level in any other Democrat ever for Harris. Latino voters, which he just mentioned, is bringing Nevada and Arizona into play, also 50% for Harris. She's the 50% candidate. Now, this is not over. You've got to vote to make this actually come to actual fruition. Vote like you're 5 points behind. But do you understand what this man right here is saying? They didn't take it seriously. Public safety? They underestimated how important it was. What? I mean, talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you know, like food, like shelter, like safety. Yeah, they didn't think it was that important. It's almost like the virtue signals overrode their basic common sense of human, psychology. It's weird. It's weird. But anyway, let's keep going because, guys, there is an opportunity for us on the freedom side, and we're about to hit it. Hold that phone.
Harris, she's winning an untold number of young women who are energized and excited over this campaign and cannot wait to vote for someone who they relate to, someone they identify with. So she's got her voters, Trump has his voters, and in the end, who actually turns them out. I don't care what the polls say. I care who goes out and votes. And what we're seeing in the early vote, this is the first time I've said this, what we're seeing in the early vote is a lower turnout rate than we had in 2020. And that's very important for the Harris campaign because she depends on early votes even more than the Trump campaign does.
All right, so that was the first part. Wait till I show you the next one, okay? So all of a sudden, everything has switched. Isn't that odd? There's not really a concern anymore. You got African-American vote, which is depressed for Kamala Harris. You got the Latin vote, which is depressed for Kamala Harris. You got the union vote, which is depressed for Kamala Harris. By the way, these are all core constituencies of the Democratic coalition. And now all of a sudden, yep, she's got white chicks. Literally, that's where we're at right now. You've gone completely afoul of all your existing demographics, and you are leaning hard on women by themselves. That's it. We've done multiple videos on this channel about the fact that women of color are not supporting her. Men of color are not supporting her. But dang it, does she have the latte liberal white chick suburban voter? I'm not being disrespectful. That's just a pretty good descriptor. But honestly, that's where we're at right now. You didn't figure out people who thought it was pretty important to have safety, public safety? Meanwhile, you're trying to take our gun rights at an unprecedented amount of pressure? Yeah, you're a little off. But something else that he just said, which was crucial, and you have to understand this. The Democrats rely on a very large, huge turnout in early voting. He just said it. It is depressed from 2020. He's never said it before. And that's not good for the Harris campaign. You're losing core constituencies of your coalition, and your early voter turnout is suppressed. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Because again, this next part is a really powerful point here. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much information in there. I mean, I think one of the dangers perhaps that you're pointing out is sort of disregarding some of the comments that Trump makes as perhaps racist or lies or derogatory on one side. And what you're saying is actually some of this resonates, and it resonates in groups that you might not expect it to either.
Weird.
The New York Times poll that we got over the weekend had Harris leading Trump 56% to 37% among Latino voters. And I think the message is, look, she's winning the black vote, she's winning the Latino vote. It's just at a lower percentage than we've seen in previous elections for Democrats. And that's sort of where the alarm comes in. In terms of the black men, in particular, that, again, she's making an outreach today. We've got a rally that she's going to do later on today. You did a focus group for young men, men under 40. And one of the things that stood out to me, just watching the interactions and your questions with them, was the message that it's not about Republicans and it's not about Democrats. It's just that the message that Trump has resonates with them. Just talk about that.
All right, so before he answers, understand what she just said. First of all, she just underplayed how important it is. The British chick on CNN International, she's going down a road and saying, well, you know, she's winning the black vote and she's winning the Hispanic vote. Yeah, she's winning the vote that they had a monolith on for 30, 40 years. It's eroding. Now, she's not going to tell you that because we got to have some semblance of, loyalty to the Democratic Party. But understand what she's saying. And that was the most important piece of this whole video, what she just said. It's resonating with people. They don't care Republican. They don't care Democrat. How many people have just, alone don't care about the party identification of Republican versus Democrat, which, by the way, more people for the first time in the United States identify as Republican according to Gallup polling. It's not about Republican or Democrat. It's about how the message is resonating. Listen to this answer. If you were in a gun rights group, if you were in a conservative group, if you are anywhere near a realm of power in these groups, understand that there is a disillusioned, completely open for the taking support level in these areas of what he's about to say. You are about to miss an opportunity if you don't recognize it. Check this out.
Exactly. And the message that Harris is giving, that they're victims, it's not a message that they particularly appreciate. They want opportunity. They want the same things that other populations have had, and they don't want a handout.
They don't want a handout, and they don't want to be viewed as victims. Well, the entire Democratic platform for the past 12, 15 years has been that the people of color are the victims. Now, you hold your own view on that, but understand that right there, they're not following into it. They're not resonating it. And the groups that he's talking about, 18 to 40-year-olds, that's another video that we did prior where she has unprecedented low levels of support. Just saying, let's continue.
And they don't want a pat on the top of the head. And their belief that Trump has been through what they've been through, the challenges, the labeling, it's really significant. And for the first time, I started to understand, and this is why 30% of young African American men are still at this point backing Donald Trump, even though Barack Obama told them to switch. And in fact, what I have found in the last couple days,
I'm sorry, I gotta say something. Even though Barack Obama told them to switch, give me a big old tell me to switch? Because what? You're an entitled president? Get out of here. I don't care what color you are. That's insulting.
is that there's been a hostility to the pandering of the Harris campaign. Just tell it straight. Be authentic. And that's not what they see from Harris. That is what they see from Trump. And frankly, they believe that he's going to make their lives better, and they do not have the same faith in Kamala Harris. So we're seeing.
All right, so enough of that. That was the whole point. That was the payoff. Holy crap, did you hear that? Guys, they feel like their lives will be better. They aren't feeling that from Harris. It's about something broader than just the victimization talking points and the rhetoric that's aimed at people of color, of which the Democrat Party in this campaign are acting as subjugated persons. Okay? You have to understand the younger demographics that they rely on in these coalitions are not buying what they're selling. They don't want to be viewed as victims. They don't want handouts, and they certainly don't want Barack Obama from his $6 million mansion in Martha's Vineyard to come down and tell them that they're going to switch their vote because I told you to. Guys, you are at a sea change right now. This is not just this election. This has been going on for the last 12 years. We've been documenting on this channel. You are at a point where when this continues, because it's not an if anymore, 18 to 40, that group of people is going to continue going forward in that path, and the generation behind them is even more conservative. You are at a sea change point. Gun rights are about to go in a very positive direction. We document it all the time. Freedom of speech, your Bill of Rights in general, the overall direction of this country is changing, which is why you're seeing Harris not winning when they all say she should be. And that's what I've got for you guys. Make sure you check out that shirt. It's in the description box below. I hope this plane landed, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.